Hey, it's Bobby Bones with some exciting news. Open booking is here for the Top Shelf Country Cruise, setting sail February 2026 aboard the luxurious Celebrity Reflection. Spots are filling up fast, so book your stateroom today or sign up to become a lineup insider to receive the final lineup 48 hours prior to the public. Don't miss your chance to make February 2026 unforgettable. Visit TopShelfCountryCruise.com. That's TopShelfCountryCruise.com.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
And then I said, come on, Madonna, there's got to be someone you want to date who isn't me.
Uh-huh.
So, anyways, how was your weekend? Because that was pretty...
I mean, fine, I guess. I didn't date Madonna, but...
Mr. Bosnick.
Oh, hey, Agent Warren.
Yeah, we need to speak to you about your Aleister Crowley essay. Contains government secrets. We need to know how you got them.
Not before I speak to him. He gave away my greatest secrets and my last words.
Oh, Chung-Ling Soo. Wait, wouldn't you have an accent if you were Chung-Ling Soo?
Dude, it's going to be somebody's first episode, okay?
You know what? That is fair. That is fair.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. He knew too much. Finland must stand.
Wow. All those essays Eli wrote, they're all true?
Yeah, that's right. Seems that way.
Every word.
Told you.
Wow. Eli, I'm sorry I doubted you.
I guess you could say I was pounded in the butt by my own honesty.
What?
It's a Chuck Tingle reference.
Oh, right. I forgot about that one. Pounded in the butt.
Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts, because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm Noah, and I'll be kicking ass tonight, but I'll need some people around to take names. So joining me tonight is a man who's above the law because he's tall,
He's very
and
tall.
a man who's under siege because he isn't Heath and Tom.
All right. Fire Down Below is also a Steven Seagal movie. Nailed it.
Upper, lower.
You know, I may not be tall, but neither am I dark nor handsome. I can still buy affection, goddammit.
Right, exactly.
America.
And also joining us tonight, two men whose visages have been described as half-past dead and exit wounds, respectively, Eli and Cecil.
Okay, that's just doctors and life insurance companies, so, like, what do they know?
Yeah, right? Exit wounds. My face has been described as wholesome.
Okay.
Wholesome.
We bust the shit tits out early
Someone's
this
first
week.
episode.
Early on this one, baby.
All right. All right. So before we get started, I wanted to take a minute to thank the patrons who make this show possible. Without you, we would be unable to bring you the educational, informative topics we bring you every week, like last week's essay on Rasputin or Cecil's exhaustive dissertation on architecture from 2 weeks ago, to whatever salient, interesting topic Eli has chosen for us today. So if you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around to the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Tom, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event will we be talking about today?
Steven Seagal? It says Steven Seagal. Why would it say that? Why would anyone ever say Steven Seagal? Why does it?
So happy.
God.
All right, what? Eli, you were watching Fire Down Below when you remembered you were supposed to do the essay this week. Are you ready to pretend you did your homework?
I don't know, Noah. Are you ready to not learn about the greatest maybe man who ever lived or didn't?
What? How do you answer that? I don't.
I have an idea.
Parse it out.
So who is Steven Seagal?
Correct, exactly. Steven, Frederick Seagal, born on April 10th, 1952, is, as Wikipedia puts it, an American actor, producer, screenwriter, martial artist, and musician who holds American, Serbian, and Russian citizenship.
Yeah.
But, as we're going to learn today, he is...
Can we just paste that into the background of
Just
every
like
Eli essay,
musical.
those noises?
The title of this podcast has never been more apropos. But as we're going to learn today, he is oh so much more and oh so much less than all of those things. On October 3rd of 1990, Seagal explained to Arsenio Hall on national television that, quote, a lot of my youth was spent in Brooklyn, which is strange because Seagal was born in Lansing, Michigan.
Huh.
Okay, look, I get making some like creative adjustments to your biography to add a flair of time. You had Detroit right there.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't have to
did.
go all the way across the country.
The son of medical technician Patricia Seagal and high school mathematics teacher Samuel Seagal, Stephen has at various times claimed to be of Japanese, Italian, and Russian descent. He also claims to speak 4 languages. However, his mother...
Absolutely not. He doesn't claim it in any other language
Yeah,
but
he
English.
claims to do that in English, yes.
However, his mother confirmed with People magazine his heritage is exclusively Jewish and Irish, and there is no evidence to suggest he speaks any language other than English.
He said that he has spent a lot of his youth in Brooklyn, and Brooklyn was the name of his high school sweetheart, so it's technically true. It's it's like
I have a sneaking suspicion his high school sweetheart was from Canada.
That's
You guys
okay.
don't know where.
Niagara Falls, different part of New York.
At the age of 5, Seagal's parents moved him to California, which is, unfortunately, also not Brooklyn. As a teen, he became interested in martial arts. According to his mother, from that same People magazine article, quote, he worked with this nice old Japanese man at a dojo in Garden Grove. He encouraged Stephen to go to Japan, end quote.
Well, when the proprietor of a business that your kid keeps going back to asks him to please go somewhere 5,300 miles, it's because he's taking a personal interest in him. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah. And go to Japan he did. However, when is also in question. Seagal claims to have studied with Morihei Uyahabeshi.
Nope.
Nailed it.
Nailed
it.
Really?
Morihei Uyeshiba, the founder of
I like the
Aikido.
other one better.
This is amazing.
Nailed it.
However, records show he attended college in California until 1971, and Uyeshiba died in 1969. So, seems strange. Some contemporaries remember an American kid who played guitar hanging around the studio, but they are unwilling to say when, or even that they're sure it was Seagal. Terry Dobson, a 5th-degree black belt who studied with the master from 1961 to 1969, has been quoted as saying, "That story is bull. Back then, I never heard of Steven Seagal."
Okay, when alleged 5th-degree black belts in the ancient art of wrist control say your story is bull, that's not a good sign.
Hey, Heath, Aikido is a legitimate martial art. It is the only one that focuses on the losing end of the battle, but it is still a legitimate.
Okay.
Oh, we'll get there, Tom.
Get your
We'll
ass
there.
kicked with style with Aikido.
By 1974, Seagal was back in California, where he met and married Miyako Fujitani, a 2nd-degree black belt and a daughter of an Osaka-based Aikido master who had come to Los Angeles to teach. When Miyako returned to Osaka, Seagal went with her. The following year, they married and had a son, who they named Kentaro, and a daughter who they named Ayako. While Seagal is often claimed to be the first non-Asian to open a dojo in Japan, in actuality, the school at which he taught belonged to Miyako's family. Miyako and her brother still teach at the school, and their mother is the chairwoman. Steven Seagal is no longer affiliated.
But he still gets royalties from his first marriage's dojo. They're called Steven Seagalimony payments.
Seagal has made several claims about his second trip to Japan, all of them dubious. The first is the time he fought off the Yakuza with help from the Irish mob and a magic dog.
What? A what now?
Okay, but that's actually the plot of a script that he wrote in his head called Yip Man. He fades in and out of reality.
Yeah, man, it's good. The part of that I'm having the hardest time with is deciding which part of that story is least believable, and I'm not leaning magic dog.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Like, Steven Seagal is like if one of Eli's essays came to life as a human.
Yes, it is. In an interview with PETA magazine, he told the following story from this time period. Quote, I was in Osaka, Japan. I was having some difficulties with a group of sort of lawless individuals. I had my own Joho, or school there. There was a big conflict.
Wait, did you say Jodo?
That's how he pronounces it. It's the fucking best. There was a big...
Hold on. You're telling me Steven Seagal pronounces the word dojo Jodo every time?
Not every time, but occasionally, because he's trying... he's trying to do the Italian mozzarella thing, but with Japanese.
God damn it. I hate him so
It's the
fucking
best.
much.
I love him. He's a fucking treasure of this country. Are you kidding me?
There
love
was a
him
big
so
conflict,
much.
and it was sort of escalating. And you know, life wasn't really easy for me during this time. I was sitting out front of my dojo, and I saw this kind of really mysterious, unusual-looking white dog that just walked right up to me as if he had known me forever. I petted him, and he wouldn't go away, so I fed him. He stayed with me for a few days. He just sort of adopted me. We have what is called a rincon.
A what?
Which is the side of a porch inside area.
That was a kind of
And he
pickle.
slept there. And I fed him. And about the third day or fourth day that he was there, he woke me up with really intense barking at about 4 a.m. I was way in the back, but when he woke me, I saw that my dojo was on fire.
Jodo.
I quickly managed to summon help, and we got the fire out. And I thanked the dog. And the next day, he disappeared. End exact fucking quote.
Okay, wait, though. Like, the reason why Eli thinks dogs barking are magical is because his dog drowns on air at sea level. So that's
That's fair. That's fair.
Honestly, the name for a group of pugs is called a grumble.
That's true. Which I think is a scientific fact.
He panics when the fucking humidity's over 40%. He's like, he's never going to make it.
It's true. But that's not all. On the promotional tour for 1988's Above the Law, he told the Los Angeles Times he both worked for and trained CIA agents during his second visit to Japan. What? Saying, quote, they saw my abilities, both with martial arts and with the language.
That sounds like a Trump quote. Jesus Christ.
You could say that I became an advisor to several CIA agents in the field, and through my friends in the CIA, met many powerful people and did special works and special favors.
I mean, Yo Stevie, where's a good burger at? Technically makes you an advisor to a CIA agent in the field, I guess.
Needless to say,
There's CIA agents in Japan like, if only somebody spoke Japanese here. How will we find somebody? A martial artist speaking Japanese in Japan.
needless to say, this
Does anybody know the Irish mob and a magical dog thing?
It feels like we should have a Steven Seagal bingo card, you know, like, right? Just like random shit on a Mad Lib.
Needless to say, the CIA refuses to comment on who they have and have not worked with, but Miyako Fujitani, who lived with him at the time, has been quoted as saying, he was never in the CIA.
That's actually the Canadian intelligence agency. She's real. She's a real intelligence agency. I've had sex with a woman.
In 1980, Seagal returned to Hollywood to start a dojo, or Jodo. While there, he married actress Adrienne LaRussa. The problem was he was still married to Fujitani at the time, who found out and promptly divorced him. In 1983, he was brought in as a fight choreographer for the infamously bad Never Say Never Again. But he accidentally broke Sean Connery's wrist during training and was let go.
Yeah, and Dr. No had to come in and put it in a sling for him. It was...
That's unacceptable. Like, if you break Sean Connery's wrist, what is he going to use to beat his wife with?
Short elbows, Tom. Short elbows.
Have you seen the Sean Connery quote about beating women?
Slapping his wife.
God
yeah,
damn it.
She needs a
Really?
little slap. Yeah, he says that once in a while a woman needs a little slap. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if she's too much of a bitch,
Yep.
then you gotta slap her.
Yeah.
If she's, it's out. He's like, yeah, I think men should be able to slap women. He just says that. Like, it's outrageous.
Yeah. All right. Bond, jail bond. Let's get him in jail.
It wasn't
He
until
likes
the
his
year
women shake
1980.
and not start.
It wasn't until the year 1984 that Seagal would get his first big break. His Aikido studio
broke
had
Sean
become
Connery's wrist. That's
Yeah, I mean, this seemed like a pretty big
confusing.
break.
His Aikido studio had become a bit of an LA hotspot with students like actor James Coburn and agent Mike Ovitz, who at the time was referred to as the most powerful man in Hollywood. Ovitz arranged for Seagal to give a martial arts demonstration on the Warner Brothers lot. Unbeknownst to Seagal, WB was looking for their version of Dirty Harry, and after seeing his sweet wrist control skills, cast him in his first film, Above the Law, which, despite its low budget, brought in $19 million at the box office. Steven Seagal was a star.
Well, I mean, he was a $19 million worth of a star. I think it was the 55th highest grossing movie of the year. Come on.
55th. I should probably do that thing Noah does at this point to talk about Aikido.
Wait, I talk about Aikido?
No, you know what I mean. I want to go on a tangerine. I want to go on a tangerine.
Nailed it. Perfect.
Okay. So I should say at the outset, I am not a martial arts expert.
Wait, you're not? You serious? Okay, glad you cleared that up. That's good. That's good. That's important.
That said,
Eli, not an expert in martial arts. Go ahead.
Deadly
Establish.
weapon that Eli Bosnick is.
that said, as Tom
break a
hinted
board against my
earlier,
abs.
you can break a lot of things against my abs, Tom. That's a terrible example.
Oh, Jesus.
Abs, face. Anyways, as Tom hinted earlier, Aikido isn't real. I mean, it's real.
Yeah.
People do it, but it mostly consists of throwing your arm out in front of you like you're jousting and then letting your friend throw you. I mean, even the Wikipedia page for Aikido admits as much when it says, quote, the attacks initiated by the uke, that's jousty arm guy, have been criticized as being weak, sloppy, and little more than caricatures of an attack. Weak attacks from the uke allow for a conditioned response from the tori, that's the throwy guy, and result in underdevelopment of the skills needed for safe and effective practice of both partners. End quote. In other words, Aikido is bullshit.
Yeah, see, that's a total fucking waste of time. That's why I exclusively train capoeira. That's
Hey, look, if you think you're doing martial arts for something more than your health, you're the one that's bullshit, okay? Not the martial arts.
Tough but fair. Tough but fair. Add to that in almost every style of Aikido, its highest level practitioners claim to be able to stop or otherwise deflect attacks with their ki or spiritual energy. And by the way, if you'd like to know how that works out, go ahead and YouTube Aikido versus literally anything, where you will find a bunch of videos of an old man who thinks he's a wizard getting punched in the fucking face.
I watched all of them. They're so fucking funny. Yes, so these videos are absolutely amazing. You get two types. The first is what Eli just described. You get to watch these Aikido guys. They realize that 40 years of studying means absolutely nothing when the other guy just breaks your fucking nose right away. So fast. The look of confusion and despair on these guys' faces is priceless. They get angry. They're like, excuse me, put out your wrist slowly, please. We're having a fight, like, gentlemen. And the real fighter's like, no. Punch. Broken nose. It's the best. And the other kind of Aikido video is pretty much always a white guy with a man bun, dressed like a fucking cosplay samurai, barely moving his body while a student goes fucking flying around the room, rolling over 19 times for no reason, slamming into walls. It's the fake pity orgasm of martial arts. That's what it is.
But of course, this creates a problem for Seagal and his tenuous relationship with the truth. I mean, even if Aikido were real, it's all based on defense. So the choreography in his films is shall we say, a tad unrealistic.
For a martial arts movie.
Yeah,
Yes.
right? Yeah. I mean, the ex-SEAL Team 6 CIA operative turned chef is fake fighting. That doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound...
You know, in his defense, before Aikido, everybody was kung fu fighting, and that shit's hard to film. It's fast as lightning. Just can't even
That's what I've
bother.
heard. That's what I've heard.
So, on top of that, by all
bit
accounts, fame
frightening.
went ever so slightly to Seagal's head. According to John Leguizamo, on the first day of rehearsing for the movie Executive Decision, Seagal told his fellow cast members, quote, "I'm in command. Everything I say is law. Anybody doesn't agree." End quote.
What?
And when Leguizamo laughed at that statement, Seagal tackled him into a wall.
What? Yeah. But then a Little League dad somewhere, anywhere said expecto patronum, and Seagal had to leave and appear as a ghost somewhere in fucking Jersey, I guess.
He did. That's true.
He didn't get to finish the fight with Leguizamo.
Wait, so his martial art is effective if he could tackle somebody into a wall, right? I mean, that's effective.
Another infamous tale of this time is his confrontation with Hollywood stuntman and actual martial artist Gene LaBelle.
This is the fucking greatest thing that's ever happened.
So LaBelle was one of MMA's earliest proponents, and apparently one day on set, Seagal explained to LaBelle that he was impervious to being choked out because of the strength of his chi. He then demanded
What?
LaBelle choke him out, tried to punch LaBelle in the groin when he did, passed out from the choke, and crapped his pants.
Yeah. That does happen
Eli,
sometimes.
are you sure you're not a martial artist?
How much blood was in his pants when it was over?
When asked about the veracity of this story by Vanity Fair, Gene LaBelle said of Seagal, "He's a good martial artist and a great actor."
I will say, admittedly, crapping your pants is a pretty amazing defense mechanism. It will stop a lot of attacks.
I love that after choking him out, then he backhanded him like this.
Well, yeah, right, because this is like the most polite possible way of saying, like, he's even worse at martial arts than acting.
However, as the 1990s began, Seagal's star began to fade. He became petulant and paranoid. According to a stylist who fitted Seagal for a tuxedo on Oscar night, quote, "I had to tailor the tux around two giant guns. He said he needed cover in case they rust the stage on him.
What?
Who they were, I have no idea." End quote. According to an ex-CIA operative named Robert Strickland, who collaborated with Seagal on an aborted film project, at one of their meetings, Seagal had opened an attaché case filled with $50,000 and asked him to kill someone for him.
Seagal's like, there's this meth head in Oklahoma with a lot of tigers. It's his money, okay? It's his money.
I love this because $50,000 in cash easily fits into 2 letter-sized envelopes.
Yeah, right.
Like the attaché case had to be filled with like 5s and some rolls of quarters.
He just dumps out his pile of 5s.
Hey, I'm sorry, Mr. Seagal, did you want me to bludgeon him to death with the 50 grand? Is it symbolic?
Okay, put them in socks next time. It's better with socks.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just a case inside a case inside a case.
Seagal also wanted more artistic control over his movies. He wanted to direct and even write them. He wrote a script about AIDS, which was,
What?
as he movingly explained to studio executives in the pitch meeting, hatched by the CIA in order to eradicate blacks and gays.
What?
The studio passed.
Huh.
Yeah. And then Seagal was like, shat myself. Still a pass? Still a pass.
Another story from this time period, according to Vanity Fair, quote, "One day, an executive walked into Seagal's trailer and found Hollywood's reigning manly man weeping. Oh, I'm reading this script," Seagal explained, still misty. "It's the most incredible script I've ever read." "That's fantastic," the executive said. "Who wrote it?" Seagal didn't miss a beat. "I did," he replied.
I love him so much. So stupid.
The early mid-90s also saw his directorial debut, which was a movie called On Deadly Ground, in which Seagal faced down an evil oil baron played by Michael Caine.
Michael Caine was
He
in
gave
there?
himself a 14-minute final monologue about environmentalism, which the studio cut down to 4.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I watched that fucking movie back in 95. Eli says that monologue is only 4 minutes long, but I'm pretty sure it's still going. So we're going to pause for a quick fact check and toss things over for a little apropos of nothing.
Hi, I'm Steven Seagal. Do you want to strike fear into the heart of your enemies? Do you have irritable bowel syndrome? Well, then why not master Bullshitsu?
Give me all your money. Jesus fuck. Okay. Never mind. Sorry. Forget it.
Take on multiple opponents.
Hey, what'd you say to me?
Yeah, let's get him.
You know what? Never mind.
It's even fantastic for ladies.
Give me your purse.
No, get away from me.
Fine, keep your fucking purse. Oh, holy hell.
Bullshitsu, significantly more real than Aikido.
And we're back. When we last left off, Eli was making fun of a person for embellishing his life story and letting a small amount of fame go to his head. So I'm sorry, Eli, what color is the kettle?
Bravo! Well done! Well done!
Oh, tough but fair, Noah. Tough but
You know
fair.
who I am?
Now,
Nope.
now, it would be understandable at this point to be sympathetic to
No, it
Seagal.
wouldn't. No, it
I mean,
wouldn't.
fake it till you make it is the Hollywood slogan, and who doesn't indulge in a little self-delusion? So, lest we dull people's enjoyment of how much crazier and sadder Seagal's life is about to get, I should point out that Steven Seagal has been the subject of no less than 10 sexual harassment lawsuits that I found on Wikipedia.
Wow.
And has been accused of sexual assault by multiple actresses who've worked with him. Those stories aren't funny, so I left them out of the essay, but I think we can all agree that he deserved to be choked until he crapped his pants.
I didn't need a lot of convincing on that one, though.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
I didn't need any convincing on that one.
That's fair.
Already, but more now.
There you go. So in 1995, his then wife, Kelly LeBrock, served him divorce papers, which sent him down a spiral of New Age healing and Eastern philosophy.
Kelly, like weird science. Kelly
Yes.
LeBrock.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
Fuck off.
Yes. In 1997, his teacher, Pinor Rinpoche, declared him a tulku, the embodiment of Lama Chung Drag Dorje, founder of a 17th century Tibetan monastery. In a sacred ceremony in Tibet, he was given the official title Turton Rinpoche, or Precious Jewel, a name he still calls himself by today.
Oh,
What the fuck? He is the platonic version of your friend's drunk dad making you listen to stories when you don't want to. The worst. Like, he's got him all risk control. Check. Uses the phrase code word clearance. Check. Overpronouncing Terton Pinpoche and karate. Check. He's hitting every fucking box.
In addition to his super sweet nickname, according to Wikipedia, quote, Seagal is the guardian of Yabshi Pan Rinzin Wangmo.
What?
The only child of the 10th Panchen Lama of Tibet. When she studied in the United States, Steven Seagal was her minder and bodyguard.
Wow. Whenever anyone he's guarding is in danger, he just craps a protection circle around them and they stay safe.
it's so fucking weird to me, the idea that somebody felt safer when Steven Seagal was near their child. What?
This spiritual awakening caused quite the disruption for both his life and career. He didn't want to make violent movies anymore, leaving his business partner and Gambino family bagman Jules Nasso on the hook for a 4-picture deal, which Seagal refused to honor. In 2001, Nasso sued Seagal for $60 million and, allegedly, sent mafia heavies to his home and movie sets to threaten him. According to True TV, which you know is true because it's in the name, quote, on June 4th of 2001, 3 months after Nasso had filed his suit against Seagal, police and federal agents pounded on the door of Nasso's Staten Island home, Villa Terranova, before dawn and arrested him.
That's the title of his house on Staten Island?
Correct.
Fuck you.
Nasso was charged with conspiracy to commit extortion and extortion of an individual in the film industry.
Wait. Movie people have their own dedicated extortion crimes?
Right? I guess so, yeah. Simultaneously, 16 other men were arrested. All of them were a part of wide-ranging 68-count indictments. The 2 counts against Nasso were just a small part of it, but it would prove to give an otherwise routine mafia sweep some Hollywood flair, end quote. Now, interestingly enough, Seagal was subpoenaed to testify for the prosecution at trial. However, much of Seagal's alleged past came back to bite him. For instance, an ex-con testified at the trial that Seagal had paid him to put a dead fish with a rose in its mouth on a reporter's windshield.
Did you just use predictive text to finish that sentence?
Man, 1-800-Flowers has some very weirdly specific delivery options. That's
later in the trial,
a long
Seagal was asked
drop-down
by
box, it's a huge drop-down. You just keep scrolling and scrolling.
You know, Seagal watched The Godfather and tried to wrestle the head off a horse using Aikido and was like, all right, this isn't working. I'm going to get this guy to do dead fish in a rose or something.
Later in the trial, Seagal was asked by the defense if he'd ever paid someone to, quote, set up a man in a compromising homosexual situation, end quote. He replied, I'm not on trial here. This is crazy.
Gene LaBelle is gay. What?
He tried to give me a rear naked choke. Come on, he's gay.
This is a smear
He's
naked
the gay
joke, as
one.
it turned out. I shit myself.
In 2005, Seagal put out his first and only album.
Oh, you bet your ass he did.
It's called Songs from the Crystal Cave, and he made it with his band, Thunderbox.
I knew a girl named Thunderbox once. God, I miss her. What a class act she was. Thunderbox.
On the album, he performs duets with Tony Rebel, Lieutenant Stitchie, Lady Saw, and Stevie Wonder.
What? Yeah, one of these things is not like the other.
We'll get on that list.
Here are some lyrics from that album. I could ruin your livelihood. I could kill you. I would. With the messiest shit you ever heard.
What? Gene LaBelle is gay. Sorry, that's a weird lyric. Go ahead. I'm continuing my lyrics.
I could trash your lip, mutate ya. You might lose your wife. I might destroy your life.
I looked at this album. My favorite track name on that album is called Music.
There's an asterisk over. It's like, yeah, this is not a legally protected term.
Yeah.
So we're allowed to.
Another song reads, quote, girl, what you really want all night, me want the buddy.
What?
Make me feel nice. Boy, what you really want all night, me want the punani.
Okay.
C for make nice. She want the buddy, him want the punani, and me know it nice. End quote.
I mean, admittedly, it's not a sonnet by Francis Bacon, but this guy fucked Kelly LeBrock before she turned her face inside out. So, I mean,
ridiculous.
In the same year, he also launched an energy drink.
You bet your ass he did.
Sorry, correction. As he called it, a nutraceutical beverage.
Oh,
what? Called, full name, Steven Seagal's Lightning Bolt. Here's the press release for said beverage. Quote, maintaining an unrelenting schedule that would tire younger entrepreneurs, the 54-year-old Seagal has just completed 2 movies, Into the Sun and Submerged. His album, Songs from the Crystal Cave, released earlier this year, has already hit the pop charts in Europe.
The poop charts?
Lightning Bolt energy drink is the result of Seagal's travels in Asia in search of the botanicals believed to keep many locals disease-free for life.
Okay. Obviously, it should have been called 5-flower energy. Like, just put some effort into your fucking puns. You got botanicals going in there. Come on.
Wrist Lock star. No, that doesn't work.
Seagal says he discovered Seagal says he discovered the benefits of Asian cordyceps, one of the most rare and treasured botanicals used in Chinese and Tibetan medicine for thousands of years, while researching
It's so
immune
rare we mass
builders.
produce it in this drink.
While researching immune builders in Asia, it promotes energy, vitality, and longevity. Other unique ingredients of the drink include the Tibetan goji berry, a powerful antioxidant, and a juice concentrate with a patented process that contains naturally occurring polycosanols. Polycosanols have been shown in clinical studies to lower cholesterol. Lightning Bolt is the first energy drink made from 100% natural juice. I have traveled the world creating this drink. There is none better that I know, says Seagal, who frequented Tibet and Japan in the 1960s and 1970s while learning Buddhism, martial arts, and herbology. I have included in this drink everything I could to strengthen the body. End press release.
Jesus. What I fucking appreciate most about that press release is its brevity and clarity of message.
Quick side note, by the way, if Seagal was in Tibet and Japan in the 1960s, he wasn't. He did so at the age of 8.
Well, or 9 through 18.
Well, yeah,
Like, he's a liar, but a decade, like, that is 10 years in
There's 10 years in there.
his world too, ours.
Yeah.
In 2009, A&E Network premiered the show Steven Seagal, Lawman.
yes.
The show
seen this.
I'm
is
so
based.
excited. I'm so happy.
I've seen this
The show is
way
based
too many times.
on the conceit that Seagal has been a secret police officer for over 20 years.
Every single drunk dad thing. Like, if he doesn't pop out of this podcast somehow and start ugly crying about his divorce, I'll be very surprised if that doesn't happen by the end.
Yeah, so according to Seagal, he was asked to train cops in Aikido in 1989 and was sworn in at the time. And while it's true, Seagal does have a certificate from the Peace Officer Standards and Training, an organization that accredits police officers. Post officials in California and Louisiana said they have no record of Seagal being certified.
Secret police officer Eli. Hello.
Yeah.
This fucking works.
And if you haven't watched this show, by the way, you must.
Oh,
It's
yes.
cops plus a pathological liar bragging about his magic powers as like the interstitials. It's the best, is what I'm saying.
I'm so fucking glad I know about this now. My dad and I are finally going to have something to watch together. Like, this is bonding.
Here's a description of one such segment from the Los Angeles Times at its premiere. Quote, as a world-class marksman, Seagal also shares some of his amazing Zen shooting techniques. The Zen masters in Zen archery, they don't pull the arrow, they push the arrow.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
It's the same thing with that pistol, he tells one deputy apprentice.
Guy's like, dude, I'm pushing the trigger. That's nothing. That's meaningless. You're stupid.
I want you to take that front sight, Seagal says, pointing to the officer's gun. Then I want you to put it right there, he says, pointing to the target. Now squeeze. I don't know about amazing, but the technique is certainly Zen in its simplicity.
Jesus.
End quote. For several episodes of the show, Seagal teamed up with none other than proud concentration camp owner and presidentially pardoned former sheriff Joe Arpaio.
Wow. That
Yes.
tracks more than almost anything that's ever tracked.
On the show, the two patrol for illegal immigrants together, run live shooting drills without warning at local elementary schools, and I'm not making this up, drove a tank through the side of a guy's house who was accused of running a cockfighting ring, killing a bunch of roosters and the man's dog in the process.
Yes. Yes, and look, I know this story, so I know that they ran over the roosters, but I prefer to imagine that he had to, like, mow through them like a Beatrix Kiddo taking on the crazy 88. They've all got the little spurs on. The dog is the boss villain at the end.
Bunch of roosters start Aikido throwing the tank. It rolls around a few times. All right, take it from a different angle. I don't know what's happening.
This whole thing would have been much safer if that had been one of the magic barking dogs.
Right.
The
Right?
guy would have
Yeah,
actually warned them, and then everybody would have known.
I love the idea of Joe Arpaio and him hunting down illegal immigrants. They catch one, and then Seagal can like interrogate him with as many languages. You know, he can just he's talking to him in broken Japanese, and the guy's just shrugging his shoulders. I don't know what you're saying. What the fuck is a Jodo? I don't know what the fuck you're saying.
That man, by the way, went on to sue Seagal for $100,000 and a written apology to his children for killing their puppy.
Jesus Christ.
That means there's an official letter out there that says, "Dear child, sorry I killed your puppy with my Nazi friend and his tank. Love, the precious jewel, Steven Seagal."
Accurate. All accurate.
Jesus.
I would cash in my 401k for that letter. I would just. Oh my God.
At a certain point, when talking about Steven Seagal, all you have to do is read Wikipedia. In 2013, quote, Seagal joined a newly formed Russian firearms manufacturer, Orsis, representing the company in both promotional capacity as well as lobbying for the easement of U.S. import restrictions on Russian sporting firearms. It was also announced he would work with the company to develop a signature long-range rifle known provisionally as Orsis by Steven Seagal. End quote.
Get the world's only push trigger. Like it's not.
He is also, and this is true, close personal friends with Russian President Vladimir Putin, who not only fast-tracked Seagal's Russian citizenship, but personally presented him with his dual citizenship passport in 2016. In 2020, again, just to quote, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission announced settled charges against Seagal for failing to disclose payments he received for promoting an investment in an initial coin offering, ICO, conducted by Bitcoin to Gen. B2G.
There's an extra I in there.
Nice.
That was a
How you
misspelling.
gonna pronounce it? It's
That's
Bitcoin?
awesome.
It's not as legitimate as Bitcoin. It's GoBot coin.
It's like a bunch of jocks like Bitcoin. Bitcoin.
Seagal was promised $250,000 in cash and $750,000 worth of B2G tokens in exchange for his social media promotions and press release, in which he, quote, wholeheartedly endorsed the ICO, which violated the anti-touting provisions of federal securities laws.
Yeah, senators can sell off millions in stock after a COVID briefing, but keep going after the big guns, SEC. That's not your gene to go after.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, who the fuck cares if Steven Seagal endorses an investment vehicle? Why would that Bitcoin meme company think that would be helpful?
Honey, pull all our money out of stocks and bonds. We're buying Bitcoin. Steven Seagal said so.
Have you seen Under Siege? That guy has an investment winner. It can't lose. He says it can't lose. Who the
He's
fuck
not
is
actually a
listening to
chef.
that?
He's a martial artist. So
Well, he's also a chef. He's both, really.
It concludes, without admitting or denying the SEC's findings, Seagal agreed to pay $150,000 in disgorgement, representing the actual payments he received for his promotions, plus prejudgment interest and a $150,000 penalty. Seagal also agreed not to promote any securities, digital or otherwise, for 3 years. End quote.
what? That's an
All right,
amazing.
so if you had to summarize
story.
what you've learned in one sentence, what would it be?
I studied karate with Mr. Karate himself.
Sure you did. All right, and Eli, are you ready for the quiz?
Only if you agree to back up 4 feet and run at me with it with your arms sticking straight out.
Damn straight.
No, that's very apropos, as these questions are the Aikido attacks of quizzes. So go right ahead.
All right, Eli, other than Yip Man, what is the best martial arts movie about a magical dog? Is it A, Leashed?
It's unleashed. It's
Unleashed, thank you. B, Kick Boxer. Separated.
Dog.
2 words.
Very clever.
C, Chow Chowlin Soccer. D, Romeo Must Play Dead. Or E, Grumble in the Bronx.
Oh, so good.
Well, you know I'm a sucker for pugs, Heath. I'm going to go with E, Grumble in the Bronx.
That is correct. Well done.
All right, Eli, the UFC seems to have actually settled the question of which martial art is best by answering generally all of them. Notable exceptions include not only Aikido, though, but A, Olympic spin kicking, also known as Taekwondo.
How dare you?
B, Brazilian kick dancing.
Eli's a black belt.
Second,
What's
second
that?
degree black belt.
Who is?
Me.
Eli.
As if to underscore your point,
I
Tom.
was going to say.
I'm so afraid now. All right. B, Brazilian kick dancing, aka capoeira. C, the karate you learned at the Y. Or D, just being fat and hard to move, also known as sumo or American exceptionalism.
I'm going to go with A, Olympic spin kicking, aka Taekwondo, based on my own personal experience with it.
Okay, Eli, last one. Oh, was it right, Tom? I'm sure it was.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Taekwondo.
Could be Tai Jo Kwan. I mean, it's either way, really.
Eli, after Steven Seagal snapped Sean Connery's wrist, what other movies did he consult for stunts? A, Joint Break. B, Pole Hand Uke. C, Radius of the Tossed Mark. Or D, Radius is the bone in your arm. Anyway, D,
That one's amazing.
Farewell to Arms.
Oh, definitely D. Farewell to arms.
It was C, Radius of the Tossed Mark. Sorry,
Oh,
buddy.
dang it.
Sorry.
Oh, you were so close. You almost made it through, but it looks like our winner this week is going to be Cecil.
Oh, and I will pick Tom this week to do the essay for next week.
All right. Well, for Tom, Cecil, Eli, and Heath, I'm Noah. Thanking you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Tom will be an expert on something else. Between now and then, you can listen to our other stuff. You'll find Tom and Cecil on Cognitive Dissonance and more of Eli, Heath, and myself on all the other podcasts, pretty much. And in case you forgot, Eli has a blog, and by you, I mean Eli. I don't know if you remember that. That part was directed at you. And if you'd like to help to keep this show going, you can make a per-episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod. We really appreciate that. You can also leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can. We appreciate that too, but not as much. If you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.
And cut. All right. Great take, Steve. Great take. So we're just going to need a couple more for good measure, just to have them.
Great. I'll hit Crafty. I hope they have waffles today.
Ooh, I do not think they have waffles today. Yeah, okay. I'll get you some waffles. We'll get them.
And some new pants.
And some new pants. Yep. We have several ready.